Hello everyone, my name is Esmeralda Cruz and I will be doing my presentation of my film critique on Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. So for those of you who haven't seen this movie, here's a spoiler warning. Once again, I would like to say spoiler warning for those who have not seen this movie. This movie has a lot of characters, but for me, I will have to say that the main ones will have to be Puss, Kitty Softballs, Perrito, and even Lobo, who was also deaf. The basic plot of this movie is how Puss in the beginning of the movie, he's an arrogant cat. He does not have a care in the world. Uh, he loves being a legend that no one could touch him. He is described as being, because of this legend, he is described as being an arrogant who only cares about his legend, and that is his one true love. Because in the beginning, he thought nothing would happen to him. He didn't cherish his life. This was until he was into his last life. Like that saying that says, all cats have 9 lives. Well, pretty much he started to care for his life once he died his 8th time and he was on his last life. He also started to change the way he was once he met death, because this was the first time he actually felt true fear, and he ran from death because he didn't want Lobo, death, to catch him. Throughout the movie, you're able to see how Puss comes to terms over what he's going through. He also comes to terms because with the help of his friends Perrito and Kitty Softballs. For me, during the time that I saw this movie, I will have to say that at least three main significant points that this movie made was that it spoke about mental health, acceptance, and trust. It speaks about mental health because it talks about how Puss was having panic attacks, as well as he had a fear from death and he was running away from it. As well, it speaks about how Perrito wanted to become a therapy dog. Uh, and then it speaks about acceptance of how Goldilocks wanted to. She wanted her wish to be with her family, and it and then towards the end, when she didn't manage to be with her human family, she accepted that she was different and she had a different family, and she learned to love them. It speaks about trust, of how Kitty was finally able to trust Puss, because during the movie it speaks about how he pretty much loved her in the altar, so she wasn't able to trust him fully. As well, she's finally able to have her family, which is going to be with Perrito and Puss. I will have to say that this movie does pass the Blanchardell test. I am so sorry if I pronounced that wrong, because it has two female characters who do talk to each other, which was Goldie and Mama Bear, and they both don't talk to each other about any man. Throughout the movie, they talk about what they want to do with the wish that they were trying to wish for, because pretty much how the movie does round around, besides the whole storyline of a Puss being scared and running from death, it does speak about how they're all trying to find this wishing star to be able to grant them that wish. Besides the Blanchdell test, once again, I am so sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. I would say it also passes as the Alexander test. I say this because the Alexander test pretty much speaks about of diversity, and that it has one diverse group or an international couple. And I would say it speaks about diversity because in the movie we're able to see how two love interests adopts someone else who's different from them. And as well, and with this, I'm speaking about Puss and Kitty, how they give Perrito a name and they adopt them as theirs. And I will say this is different, as diverse, because it's pretty much two cats adopting a dog, which is that's not really common. But then again, it is a kids movie. But I will have to say that a big interpretation for this movie is that it does talk about mental health. Sadly, mental health is not something that's talked about a lot in kid movies. If it is talked about, it's just talked about a little bit, or it's just skimmed through, or not even at all. And in this movie, we're able to see how Puss is dealing with PTSD or even anxiety, or probably even both. And he's triggered with it once he sees Lobo, death. Once he sees him, and when he hears the little whistle, he starts to feel fear, and he loses himself in the fear, in this anxiety attack. And coming from a person who has had anxiety attacks, they're not good. It takes a bit for you able to control yourself, like to calm yourself down. And the only way that Chris is able to calm himself down in a way, because he, as seen in the movie and it's portrayed and the picture shown right here, he feels like he's having a heart attack. And sometimes anxiety attacks, that's what they feel like, speaking as a person who has had them before. The only way that he was able to calm himself down was with the help of Perrito, which is the main, how he said in the beginning that he wanted to be a therapy dog. He does start being a therapy dog because he calms him down. And he does this just by laying his head on him, and he's able to calm down. I will have to say that for me, the main reason that I actually love this movie, besides that I'm a Puss and Boots fan ever since I saw Shrek, but I will have to say the main reason was because of Perrito. Because throughout the whole movie, for me, Perrito was shown to be peace. He had such a terrible life, as we're able to hear in throughout the movie, of something that happened to him. But I won't say it because I don't want to. I don't want to spoil all those people who have not seen the movie. But anyways, he had such a terrible life. He finds the good in everything. He sees everything through different color eyes. Like he does not let his past define him. He's a definition of a good friend. And he always tries to stay positive no matter what. No matter what. He makes every minute of his life count. As well, I also do think, like, of him wanting to be a therapy dog. It's a wonderful thing because he is the definition of something to make, any way something tragic is happening, he tries to find the good in it. I know my opinion, it's not all you guys will say will want, because I really like the movie. This movie has gotten some good scores, such as in Rotten Tomatoes, they got a 95%, which they wrote was arriving more than after a decade. It's a sweet and funny, and improves some franchise only get better with age, which is true because we all know that sometimes sequels don't really come up to be that all good, and this one did, because I believe before it was 86% and now it was a 95%. The audience scored it a 94%, and they said it's a cute animation and you'll get lots of laughs, which makes this movie fun for the whole family. Google users gave it a 96%, which was better than the last movie, which was 78%. IMDb gave it a 7.4, which was also good because before it was a 6.6. And there was a YouTube creator, which I am not sure if any of you have heard, but it's from 3C Films. He actually loved this movie. He said that the last Puss in Boots movie wasn't to all his liking. It wasn't all that good for him, and this one he liked it. He gave it 4 stars for action, 3.5 for comedy, 4 stars for drama, 1.5 for horror, and 3.5 for suspense. Of course, the horror it is a little bit like 1.5, because we did have death and Lowell, because he was spooky and scary. Once you saw the movie, I was like, it was scary. It's a casual film. He gave it an A+. As you can see, here's the scoring that he gave it, and to him, it was a good movie to his liking. He actually did like it. And as well, I did see other YouTubers critique this movie, and they also enjoyed this movie. So I will recommend you guys to go see this movie if you have not seen it. Hopefully, I didn't spoil you that much. Hopefully. And here are my reference. Thank you so much.